Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a review of my first year in BMW's M140i. October 2018 I picked this up. In 1 year, 14,500 miles and 2 track days. Here are 25 things I've learned. The first thing I learned was that I have a good solid engine. 357 horsepower, 395 pounds-feet of torque, with 350 of that available between 3,000 and 5,500. BMW can't make a shift feel nice. I've got used to it now. I've no desire to modify it. It's not bad, it's just not really that good. It's a small car. Coming from the RS, this feels really quite compact and light. Despite that, it's equalled or bettered the RS over the course of a year on all domestic and load lugging duties. I quite quickly came to the conclusion that an open rear diff on a car like this with almost 400 pounds-feet of torque is just absolutely rubbish. Luckily, I had a friend who had an M140i, and as soon as he bought that, he put a brand new BMW M Performance plated Drexler limited slip differential on it. When he sold the car, he took it off and he kept it for me. I bought that from him November 18. Now, it didn't fit the diff straight away. As a noob to rear wheel drive, I wanted to really understand and get a feel for how the car behaves with the standard open diff first before I fitted it. And one thing I did learn about the open diff and rear wheel drive, and completely at odds with what I was told many times by some of those in the Focus RS community, is that rear wheel drive will not automatically spit you off the road and kill you, unless you're driving like an absolute twat, of course. You want breathing mods for your B58, you're thinking of a panel filter and an exhaust, you want more power? Well, I learned that doesn't really give you anything, if at all. Comfort entry setting, I've never had that before, didn't even know what it was in the beginning. But now that I have it, I don't use it that often, but when I need it, I'm so glad it's there. The mirror covers, no matter which technique you try to remove them, are an absolute pain in the arse to get off. Run flat tyres are terrible. I see no reason whatsoever for their existence. I kind of thought they were okay at the beginning, and I only changed them early because I had a bulge in the rear of my of the sidewall of the rear tyre. So I switched to a set of non-run flat Michelin PS4s, and then I saw the light. Oh my, what a difference. The BMW logo centre caps on the wheels, they don't stay put. Get them aligned, put them just so they're all lined up with the M badge. A few miles, a few days later, they've moved. I really struggle with that with my OCD. I just get around it by not looking at them. The standard brakes with 16,000 mile old brake fluid in them can give you a very, very mushy pedal on track. With the standard open diff and in Sport Plus mode, so you've got a bit of slip and a bit of wheel spin. On circuit, if you get it sufficiently loaded up in a corner, it will happily spin its inside rear wheel from 60 miles an hour all the way to over 90. Standard suspension with the active dampers that I have, considering how good it is on the road, it works really, really well on track. That's despite it not really feeling properly tied down. BMW's 6-cylinder 3-litre straight 6 twin-scroll turbocharged engine is an absolute monster. It's in quite a mild state of tune, so it has headroom to spare. But even as standard, accelerating from 66 miles an hour, by the time my Focus RS was doing 122, this thing was doing 138. I learned that a seized locking wheel nut, if you're planning on fitting a limited slip differential, has the ability to completely ruin your day. With fresh standard brake fluid and a change of braking attitude, the standard brakes will survive an afternoon on track. And that same change of attitude, which was mostly driving the 140 as a 140 and not trying to drive it like I did my RS, meant I managed a lap time in this 0.7 seconds faster. That was a genuine surprise. After 12,000 miles in the car with the standard open diff, feeling the LSD do what it does for the first time is a wonderful, wonderful thing. the iDrive warning that you get for the brakes is premature, to say the least. 0 miles remaining. It told me I had, yeah, all 4 pads from the front had over 4 mil remaining. The limited slip differential that is quite often said to be the absolute must-have mod for one of these cars, should you get one? Well, I think, and what I've worked out, is that it all depends on your hooligan level, how much you like working the back of the car. If you're no more than a 3 or a 4 out of 10, I wouldn't bother. But if you're 7 and over, I would say get one. Just get one immediately. With the LSD, in my opinion, DSC fully off is the only way to drive these things. You will need to budget for more rear tyres though, and underpants. This one's a big one, for me anyway. It's reliable. It's had 1 visit to the dealership in the 12 months, and that was to replace the back box under warranty. And I mean 1 visit. That was in, they gave me a courtesy car, 24 hours later, I picked it up, it was done. Not multiple visits for the same thing. Coming from Focus RS ownership, that's refreshing. And now we have the costs of ownership of my car over the course of the year. First, fuel economy. Now, this is all calculated from actual fuel fill-up data, and the average I've had over the course of the year, which includes 2 track days, is 26.8 miles per gallon. That's almost 10% more than the Focus RS. I couldn't even get it below 10 on track. In the Focus RS, I managed 6. Now, here's all my cost data from the year. Points to note are depreciation is the difference between what I paid for the car and what We Buy Any Car would have given me on day 365. The £605 of servicing costs is an independent service and oil change, a full wheel alignment when the non-run flat tyres were fitted, and the cost of labour for fitting the diff and the brake pads. And sundries is the cost of the actual differential, along with the seals, bolts and oil required to fit it. So there you have it, true, genuine 1 year costs of owning a BMW 140 for a car bought at 1 year old with 10,000 miles on it. In other news, I'm back at Goodwood in 12 days time. Of course, I now have the rear differential fitted. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that changes the dynamics, behaviour and response of the car on track. I'm now also running ATE Type 200 racing brake fluid, and I have a recently fitted set of standard pads up front. I'm looking forward to seeing if that cures the long pedal I had last time I was out on track. Otherwise, it's identical to the way it was last time I went out on track. If I get a dry afternoon, I'll spend my day really pushing it, seeing if I can, get a good measure of how much quicker it is on track. I'm expecting probably around a second, maybe even more. If it's wet though, I aim to do just enough with the diff to get the marshals talking, but not so much that they pull me in for a friendly chat. That's the plan anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate the views and the comments. Keep them coming. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give this one a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks again for watching. Hello, sir.
Hello, you alright?
I am very well, yeah.
Good. A couple of the marshals have reported you getting a little bit over enthusiastic.
Understood. I did, when I was...
No big deal.
No, when I...